Randy, was your message to the guys today any bit different, perhaps just more game-related tonight than it was last night?
I think today was just a little bit of, we talked about the tweaking, that when somebody new comes in, there's some things that I like to do as a coach and to have our teams do in the past, and see if we can implement some of those things, and not too many by any stretch of the imagination, just a little bit. And that's what we tried to accomplish in the morning skate. It's not really too much in depth, other than we just want to feel good about it ourselves, get the kinks out, get ourselves mentally focused for the task at hand tonight.
Got a difficult balancing act, just keeping it subtle and not giving them too much too quickly, especially the time parameters.
Yeah, and when I talked with them last night, I talked about them having to be a sponge here, because there's some days here that are going to come up that they're going to have to really try to absorb a lot of what we're trying to sell as a coaching staff. And they've probably done it before, and they'll recognize it once they start to do it, but it is different, and we plan on implementing some of the structure and the staples that we feel comfortable with, and that's going to take some learning on the players' behalf.
What do you recall from your days as a player wearing the blue and white and coming into the city to play a game on Saturday night?
It's a big event, and anytime the Toronto-Montreal matchup is played on Saturday night, it's on hockey night in Canada. It's a big event, and it gathers interest from across the country, and to be involved with it is very special, specifically being my first game.
What's the process like for gathering those first impressions of guys you haven't seen that often?
Well, I guess I have to be a sponge. I have to recognize and watch and pay attention to all the details that I think are important, and convey those thoughts and whatnot to the player. There's some things that that I recognize out there when you watch Phil Kessel skate from afar, and then you get at ice level and watch how he can move out there and how he can shoot the puck and release the puck. There's a special player with a special skill set. That grabs you, that jumps out at you. And, those are the little things that I have to become accustomed to, and find a way to utilize those players to their strengths.
Randy, you talked about helping restore a team's confidence. If that's your perception of coming in, how does a coach go about, trying to work on the psychological side of the game with a new group like that?
I think, again, you point to the individuals. There is what we call a box inside, and that's up to the individual to build that box. And if you look at the elite athletes that play not only hockey, they have that willingness to be better. And we come to practice every day to get better. And once you start practicing to a higher level, and you usually play to a higher level, and once you start doing those things and they become natural to you, you feel much better about yourself. And then if collectively every one of them can be 10% better, then we've accomplished something. And that's the starting point.
Do you anticipate reinventing those lines or defense pairings as quickly as this evening, or is there no time? I mean, even if you know what they've been.
Yeah, that's a question. I have some thoughts on the type of pairings I would like and the groupings, but it's pretty much, I'm coming in pretty much cold in this situation for tonight specifically. But again, I have to rely on the people that have been here, in Scott Gordon and Greg Cronin. We've had numerous conversations on the players, obviously, in the last 24 hours, so we'll continue to do that. And I message to the players was, you get a chance to make a first impression, and don't leave anything in the box here. We're looking for people that are going to stand up and come out and play with a lot of heart, a lot of determination, play the game the way we want you to play it, and you will be rewarded.
Moving into the middle of the playoff race, do you hold off on implementing anything systems-wise until the fall, or do you just go with what you've got?
Oh, I think every coach has some staples, as I talked to earlier, that you'd like to have implemented into your team, and I'm no different. There's some things that we've done, or I've done with teams in the past, that we're going to definitely try to implement here, and that's going to take, again, a commitment from the players to be willing to absorb some of that. And this is a give and take situation right now.
How different do you think this is going to be than it was in Anaheim, coaching contending teams, playoff teams, and building from a very different place?
Coaching jobs that come along, and when you're in these situations, I don't think you can expect that you're going to get a first-place team. When coaching changes are made, they're made because the team has been struggling. So every team has its areas of concern when you're put in these situations. So our job as a coaching staff, and as simple as I can put it, and I've said it on numerous occasions, that it's our job as a coaching staff to make sure that we create an environment for your players to have success in. And that's what we're going to try and do. And if we have to kick, coddle, scratch, whatever we're going to do, we're going to do it together, and we're going to do it as a group. And they have to take some responsibility upon themselves to bring a more focused effort, a more intense effort in certain areas of the ice to get themselves out of this funk.